Welcome, everyone, to In the Spotlight. Joining me tonight is a singer songwriter who used to sing to himself while working in a manufacturing plant. But thankfully, for country music fans, he's now singing songs for all of us to hear. Please welcome to the show, Robby Johnson. Hey, Robby, welcome to the show and welcome to the Spotlight.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the spotlight. It's really appreciated, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Same here. And I know you've got a lot going on, and I appreciate you taking the time here to join me, Robby. So I'd like to jump right in and talk about something pretty special. And
Sure.
that's your latest single, More Than You Think. It's a beautiful song, and it pays tribute to some pretty special people in your life. Can you share that story with us?
Yeah. So, when I sit down to write a song, I just grab the guitar and I start fooling around, playing chord progressions, and oftentimes I don't know what I'm writing about. I just let it out. That's the way I do it. It's rare that I will have an idea. I'm like, oh, I need to need to write this. And this time it's the same thing. I was sitting down and I started, letting it out. And halfway through the song, it's like, oh, this pays tribute to my grandparents. And I narrow it down to my grandfather, Leo, who was such a great inspiration in my life. And they did so much for me growing up. It wasn't easy. My parents got divorced. I was 5. My father left. He abandoned us. I had a rough upbringing, poverty and all that. And my grandparents, they were awesome. They would work multiple jobs and they would send in some money for, when it was my birthday or just so that I have presents and clothing, shoes. They were great. And I'd spent all my summers at their house and it was
Wow.
so great. And the holidays and everything, and everything I learned from them. It's really, I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for my grandparents.
Wow, that's phenomenal. That really is a phenomenal story. And I'll tell you, I think I was just about 5 when my parents got divorced, but
Oh,
I at least got to see my dad every few weeks. So that
mm.
was tough enough. So I'm wondering, Robby, growing up the way you did and going through, some of the things that you just talked about, how do you think that helped shape the man that you ultimately became?
Well, I mean, of course, everything we go through shapes us, and sometimes, looking back, sometimes you're like, oh, it's not fair. I didn't have the easy life and all that. But then you're like, oh, but that's the reason I have so much imagination and I'm so creative. It's because I didn't have nothing. I had to almost imagine toys, and just trying to spend time, and thinking about stories, making up things, making up songs. So if I would have had everything that I desired, I don't think I would have this imagination and creativity. So it shaped me, and I'm today I can say that I'm very fortunate. I'm thankful that that's how it happened. You have to be,
Hmm.
you have to take all of that and see the good side of it, and just use it to your advantage. I have so many things I've been through, experiences that are now in my backpack that I'm using for everyday life. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
and
it's good.
that is, I think, I remember an old expression, it's not about what happens to us, it's about how we react. And
Yeah, totally.
it sounds like you've literally turned lemons into lemonade with your approach and your outlook and how you've handled everything. And like you said, you've now got a backpack full of experiences to draw on and the creativity to do something with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, with everything that happens, being in the music business, and wanting to be an artist and get out there and perform and grow the fan base and share, what your songs, and hope that people connect with it. I mean, you really need to focus on the positive things, and always turn it into something good. Always take the best of every situation and use it to your advantage, because it's so easy to get discouraged and just want to quit. So you
Sure.
really need to take everything you've got and just use it, and it will transpire in the music.
And speaking of, things transpiring into music, you actually moved to Nashville back in 2012. So it's not like you're brand new at this game. And you've had some success over the years and looking forward to much more success for you in the future. But if you look back since the time you moved to Nashville, what are a couple of your favorite memories thus far? What really stands out in your mind?
All right. So I do have some highlights, career highlights that are insane, like performing on The Late Show. That was my first single. That was, I still don't believe it. Getting to sing with Keith Urban twice during his Ripcord World Tour, opening for Keith in front of 35,000 people. And as I'm walking on the ramp to get on the stage, people are screaming my name, Robby, Robby. That was insane. But I gotta say that the best memories I have is those live shows when I'm in the moment.
Mm.
That nothing beats that. When you're singing, you're in the moment. You're not thinking about, a thousand things. You're just in the moment, living it. And then you look at your band and you make eye contact with the players and they're in the same moment with you. And then you turn around, and you look at the crowd, and it's the same reaction from the crowd where everybody's like, "Oh my God, we're doing something big here. This is something, it's a cool something we'll remember for the rest of our lives." And so these are the best moments, those live shows where it just, I don't know, for some reason it clicks and it happens, and it's insane. There's no feeling like that. No.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I don't think there's really anything else that can replicate what you just described.
No, no, I because it's, you know, me with my guitar on a stage, nothing's really happening. Yes, with a band, we could jam and have some fun during sound check, but it's nothing like when there's, people in front of you and they're the real stars of the show. I mean, they're the stars. They make it happen. And it's not me or the band. They're the ones that react to what we're doing, that give us the energy. Uh, it's an incredible feeling when you get when everything, get works together in this moment, and it's really amazing. That nothing compares to it, and it's really the crowd and how we react to the crowd, and then it's really a teamwork. So it's great when it happens.
Yeah, and I also think it's why when you get to do something you love to do, which clearly you do, you don't see like people waiting to turn 65 to retire. I mean, we've had guests on that are still rocking and rolling and doing things well into their 80s and loving every minute of it. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean it's really it's a great feeling. And I don't know, where it comes from, but we just want to entertain. I don't know why. We want people to have fun, have a good time. When I think about the music I produce, I record, I'm always thinking about the live show. Are people gonna enjoy the live show? Because I don't want it to be the same song over and over again. I want to go in different, how can I say, I will start with something that's more, start show with something that's more country current, a little pop, and then go into traditional country and bring back those classics, have people stomping and clapping. And then you just finish it with some country rock where it's real solid, heavy, and just to get the energy to keep going up. So that's what I think, when I'm thinking about the music that I do, and why how I want to entertain people, how important it is. You know, bands, we all know we do sound check, but I also do a light check when I do a show. It's important for me to see the crowd. I
Hmm.
want to see them. I want to see their eyes. I want to see their reactions. And I want I've done it, my first show in a theater. I had this huge light coming at me. I could only see like a few people in front, and the rest was kind of blacked out because of the light. I couldn't see anything, and I hated it. I hate it. I cannot pretend and going, hey, and pointing at people I don't even see
Oh
and
yeah,
saying hi. I mean, it's fake. It's not real. So that show, I stopped the show and I asked the lighting guy, I said, I want to see the people. Bring up the lights. And then it just illuminated, and I could see everybody. I was like, "Oh, you guys are so beautiful!" And everybody, started screaming, and they loved it. And after that, it's really important for me. I have to do a light check where I need, it can't be totally lighted. I mean, there has to be a little, you know, uh, just enough light so that I can see people's
sure.
faces. That's great. That's what I want
Yeah, that's I
because I
don't.
want to connect with them.
Yeah, and I don't know that I've ever heard anyone that was willing to do what you just described, but more importantly, it's the reasons that you wanted to do it. So kudos to you, Robby, for doing that. Now, we've
Yeah.
talked about your live shows. I want to just go back to not just the singles, because you've been putting out new singles every month or two, it seems like, but there also, from what I understand, is a new album in the works. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so I'm continuously, like you said, I'm releasing new music every 6 to 8 weeks. I just delivered a new song, Road I'm On to the DSPs. It's going to be coming out in beginning of November, and also working on some new music and probably release an album with all those singles that I released recently and some new music, probably at the beginning of the year, probably.
Okay.
Working on that. Yeah, working on that.
Well,
I
there's
might bring
definitely
back and I also might bring back some of my previous songs from previous albums and just regroup everything together in a big bundle, like a deluxe
well, there
version
you
of
go.
Robby. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Now I know you've got a lot going on. You've got some places you have to get to. But Robby, one last question before we wrap up, and that is, as more and more people get familiar with your songs and with your music, I want to help people get a little bit more familiar with you as an artist and as a person. So, what's something that you would want people to know about you as a person and as an artist?
Okay, so as an artist, like I said, I just want to entertain you guys. That's what I want to do. I want you guys to have a good time. And I'm not doing this to get the awards, to get the number ones on the radio. I just want you guys to enjoy the music, have fun. And if it's a more sad song, then, hoping that it helps you through those rough times. And as a person, I'm a handyman. I'm a family guy. Really down to earth. I really just like I'm like the listeners because we talked about it a little. I started a little later in the music. I didn't start, from the get-go at 5 with a brush in front of the mirror, seeing myself a singer and all that, and started singing at 5 years old. That's not my story. It started later in my life. So I had many I mean, I had a life before, and I've worked many jobs. So I know a lot of my listeners' life. I know what it's like to have that life because I had it in the past. So I'm a regular, very normal, average, guy. Average. So yeah, that's what they can remember about me. And I really want to, entertain them. That's really important for me.
Yeah, and I think as I'm listening to you, a couple things jump out, Robby, and that is that you don't forget where you came from. I think you're very appreciative of where you are and getting to do what it is that you do. And from what I've seen over the years, and I've been a fan of country music since the early '90s, and one of the things that really draws me in are the lyrics, the melodies, but the authenticity of the artists. And that's something that really emanates from you is you're genuine and you're authentic. And I think it's really helping you connect with more people. So I want to thank you for that as well.
Well, thank you very much for pointing that out. I mean, I'm not when I write like I said earlier, I just let the lyrics out. When I write music, and I'm not trying to copy or I mean, I've tried it. It just doesn't work. It doesn't feel right. I would try to say, hey, maybe I should write a song that similar to this artist or and that sound, and then I try it and it just doesn't work. It has to be a Robby Johnson song or it doesn't work. I often tell, new artists, they're wondering, hey, how'd you do it? What should I be doing? And I tell them, just be yourself, and sing the songs you want to sing. Don't try to emulate. Don't try to fabricate something. It has to come from you. You need to be an artist. Don't see yourself as much as a product, but more as an artist, a creative artist that wants to share a message. And that's what you need to be doing. Share the message you want to share the way you want it to be out. Don't, because maybe you're going to want to try to sound like someone. And that's the reason it's never going to happen for you, because you had that sound in you, that new sound that nobody ever heard, that you had in you, but you didn't let it out. And that's I would say that's what I tell new artists, just be you.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, just be you. It really is as simple as that, because people will see through it one way or the other. They'll know it's you, or they'll know it's you trying to be someone else. So I think, Robby, that's great advice. And again, I know you've got some things to do and places to go and people to see. So before I wrap things up, I just want to say to you that I've really enjoyed this conversation, but I would love to have you back on the Rosie and Bill show. So you've been here with me on In the Spotlight, and on the Rosie and Bill show, we dive a little further into your story. I'd love to hear more
that'd be great.
About your story coming up, the things you did before music, because I think that your story, as well as your music, will just help inspire a lot of people and help more people even get to know more about you. So I look forward to setting that up. And in the meantime, I thank you again so much, and I wish you all the best with the new single and the new video.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the Spotlight. It was a great interview. Thank you. And great conversation. So let's do it again.
You got it. All right, Robby. Thanks again, folks. Thank you for watching. Much. We'll see you next time.
There's a light rain pouring down. The sky looks different now. Always thought that you'd stick around. Man, it feels like yesterday. All the weekends at the lake, with me looking up to you to be like you. All the Sunday drives in your old Chevrolet, all the memories and the good times that were made. But now I'ma shave my beard and act like a man. Tuck this shirt and these black pants and go sit in the pew up front, where you'd sit, but today you won't. I'll be standing tall, holding my tears. I gotta be strong for the ones that are here. I swear I'll do my best to take it from where you left it. You might think you showed me just a few little things, but you did more than you think. More than you think. I can't wait to show my kids how to set up a Texas red, how to catch a 10-pound bass and add a few inches just to make grandma laugh. And I'll show them how to drive your truck around the lake, how to fix it when it breaks, how to hit a ball over the fence, how to take your place, how to take your chance. And I'll show them life is worth every breath you take. But now I'ma shave my beard and act like a man. Tuck this shirt and these black pants and go sit in the pew up front, where you'd sit, but today you won't. I'll be standing tall, holding my tears. I gotta be strong for the ones that are here. I swear do my best to take it from where you left it. You might think you showed me just a few little things, but you did more than you think. More than you think. I didn't have a dad to show me anything. How to shave my beard, get grease on my hands, how to tuck my shirt, be a proud man, how to stand up tall, face my fears, how to be strong for the ones that are here, how to steer my life with just enough grip, how to show my love when everything slips, how to get down on my knees and face God with all my deeds. You might think you showed me just a few little things, or being my grandpa didn't change anything, but you did more than you think. More than you think.